Hi, Mark. It's so good to see you today and have you here with me to talk about hypnosis for change and how we can help other people understand really what hypnotherapy can help people with, because we're both passionate about it because we know it works. If it didn't work, we'd have got a proper job by now, wouldn't we?
Oh yes, it's been many years, and that's one of the frustrations of helping so many people over that time period. You go, look to myself and go, well, it must work because there's so many people that have changed their lives now in such a good way. So yeah, why not? And that's what our passion is. So yeah, but today we're talking about that big word, change.
Yes, the big word, change. Hypnosis for change is today's title, and people look at me. I've shared something in my group on Facebook this week actually about what my life was like in 2019 and what it's like now, and they'll go, "Oh, you're such an inspiration." No, I just changed my thoughts. That's all. I just changed the thoughts at the deep subconscious mind, and then watched everything else just change around me, because things that weren't for me then now just fall away, don't they? Because you attract what you are, what you believe.
Wow, that's another deep conversation we can have about that, because giving out positive thoughts is what's going to come back, giving out negative thoughts is what's going to come back. I've spoken to many people over the years about this, and especially my wife Adele knows a lot about this, and she teaches me a lot about this, is that if you do give a negative thought, oh, I'm so ill, oh, I'm so sick, oh, I'm so tired, then you're going to be that. If you put out, wow, I feel great, this is a great day, let's go and do this is going to be fantastic, then it's going to happen that way. And people don't believe it until they try it, and it does work every single time.
Yeah, sometimes it takes that little, it's like a wheel of change, isn't it? So you need that momentum in order for things to really start progressing. It might not be instant because the law of attraction takes a while to formulate, but yeah, absolutely, changing your thoughts changes your life. And changing your thoughts at the deep subconscious level is amazing, because the thing is, we don't know what's in that subconscious. We don't know what we picked up as a child or when we were younger, because when we're little, we've got no reference point, and we're like little sponges, aren't we? Just absorbing everything that goes on around us. So if we get told off, we think, oh, it must be my fault. Maybe it was, but there's also stuff around it that you just like, oh, that must mean I'm not lovable. That must mean I'm stupid. That must mean I'm, never going to make it, whatever that means. And all of it makes us believe, it really does affect our self-love, because when we're born, we don't, if someone's looking at us and they say, oh, aren't you cute? You don't go, well, no, don't look at me. You just go, yeah, you're smiling that toothless smile, you're kicking your legs, and you're just accepting all that attention. And yet something happens as we get older, and we believe, we didn't stop learning to walk because we're like, oh, I'm never going to make this. I'm never going to learn to walk. I'm stupid. I can't ever learn to walk because, I've never learned it before. Or learning to write, we didn't stop and give up. But there's something happened over time that now makes us believe that we can't do, fill in the missing blank of whatever that is.
So the big thing about what we're talking about is change, the word change, Kate. Change can be good, can be bad, but life is about change. It's always changing. Life always will be changing, whatever the situation is. But the biggest fear I've always seen with people is that change. If you're changing job, for instance, you're going from, say, one position to a higher position. You've never done it before. How do people in these director positions or SEO positions, they've never been born straight into it. They've got to work their way up. So there's change all the way that these people have got to go through. And yes, they're going to fear it because it's something they're not used to. But, moving house, moving country. I've dealt with many people with different things that they need to deal with. Driving different cars, that's been coming up quite a lot lately, because people over here go from one side of the road to the other, and drive a different style of car because the steering wheel's on a different side of the car. So it is change. So it's a worry, it's a fear. And to help people with hypnotherapy, it's just to understand what they need to be going through. So change is one of the biggest fears I've always seen happening over the years. But as I say, it can be good, it can be bad. But the good things, changing job, changing house, country, whatever it's going to be, is great, but you've got to go through a situation. You've got to get your emotions, your feelings all set right. And again, as you said, going back down to your subconscious mind to go, let's understand this a bit more. Once we understand something, we don't fear it. It's the fear of not knowing something. That's where fear is. If you've got to go and do something, you don't know how to do it, you're going to fear it. So once you've done it, you're happy. You can do it again. And it's just
right. That's exactly it, because we're in this comfort zone, in that uncomfortably uncomfortable comfort zone. And so anything outside of that is going to feel strange. It's going to feel scary. It might be like that saber-toothed tiger coming to attack you kind of fear. But when you rationalize it, why is it? Because awareness is key. Awareness is the first part of changing. You've got to be aware of it in order to decide whether you want to stay as you are or move on from it. So then it's about sort of looking at what you are scared of. Is it, driving to that new place, or is it learning a new language? Is it about, well, there's all sorts of things. What is that scare? Why are you scared? Let's have a look at it. Is it like, for me, I'm writing a book and it's like, what if everybody reads it? What if nobody reads it? That's quite scary. It's putting myself out there that I've never thought of before, but I do know the message I've got to share needs to be in a book, needs to be there. So at the moment, I'm just telling myself I'm writing any little piece of work just for me, so that at least I can get it on paper. So then when I've got it on paper, I can then give it to some people to read it as beta testers, see what they think. So it's just slowly putting my toe in the different pool, if you like. I'm like, okay, well, you can read it, see what you think. And then all of a sudden I'll just press that button on Amazon and it'll be out there. And but it is just sort of like, because I found that block of writing and like, why am I can write a post, I can do this. What is it that's stopping me from, I'm like, all of a sudden I need to go and hoover. All of a sudden I need to do million other things except sitting down and writing. Why? And then I was like, okay, I need to really peel back these layers of what it is. And that is what it is. It's the fear of visibility, the fear of standing out. What if people think I'm weird? What if people don't get it? What if, those sort of kind of questions. It's like, well, I'm doing it. And in fact, I've actually started writing about my experience of when I was in the womb. And people will think that's a bit weird, probably. But I'm just like, well, I'm embracing that, because that was my experience of how I felt, feeling like I'm negotiating a deal, because I felt that something had changed as I was in the womb, like somebody was going to come down with me, and that didn't happen. So I am sharing that because it just shows, that's my experience of understanding that we are these conscious beings having a human experience. We are consciousness, and as you can't kill energy, it just evolves and change. We must be having a human experience. So I've put that in my book and I'm embracing it now. So it is looking at all those, what's stopping you, isn't it? Those blocks. We're like a little bird in a cage, but the cage is open, the door's open. We're like, no, this is the only thing I ever know. This little cage is all I'm aware of, and we don't sort of expand.
And that's exactly it, the fear of the unknown, because you've done something, wrote a book sort of thing, and that unknown business of pressing that button and going, what's going to happen? That's a fear. And it's a good thing though. It's a good excitement thing, because it's something you've got a passion to do. So doing that is fantastic. But then you've got all sorts of things of people that have to make a change in their life, for work, for finances. This change of going back to, we can't change anybody as a hypnotherapist. We can help them change themselves. That's how it works. People who are scared of being out of control and someone controlling them, I've got to reiterate that, because it's not the way it works. We can help you turn the switch off in your mind of whatever that thing that's holding you back. So the change that people come across, if they want to, they've been drinking too much, they've been eating too much, they've been going to the gym too much, whatever that is that they're trying to do to block something out, that change has to come if they want it, you know. So it's just even out here, it's, if someone wants to stop drinking or overeating or whatever it's going to be, that's a change. They're worried about what's going to happen if I don't do that. And that's, as a hypnotherapist, we help them do, to understand, to help the subconscious mind to go, okay, so if I'm not going to drink alcohol excessively, if I'm not going to overeat, or I'm not going to fear driving or whatever it's going to be, what's going to happen to me? And we just allow them to understand that. We're taking into the future as well, of going, this is how it's going to feel. Do you like it? And if they do, it's all in their hands to go, I'll keep that switch off. I don't want to have that fear anymore. I want to have this, and this is what I want, and this is how it feels, and this is the emotions that come with it. Thank you very much. I'm on my journey now. You know, some people I've come across that have made that change. I've helped them make that change. You're saying about writer's block. I've had quite a few people come to me with writer's block. They used to write lots of books and everything else, and all of a sudden they just had that freeze effect and they couldn't do any more. And I've helped them do that. I've helped them open up and go find out where it was stuck. Let's turn that switch off. How are you doing now? Yeah. And they don't realise that they made a massive change because they're writing books again. And they go, I'm going, how are you feeling? Yeah, I'm feeling great. Okay. Are you writing lots? Yeah, I'm writing lots. So they don't really remember having that block. And it's great. I know I get frustrated because I go, wow, that was great work that hypnotherapy done for you, but I don't get any thanks for it because you can't remember how you felt before. And that's the way it is. You know, some people really don't realise how positive change comes into their life once they've been to a hypnotherapist, which is great because we know we're helping people. We can see that difference. But sometimes they don't realise it, and we don't get the thanks for that. But that's the way it goes.
Fine. That reminds me of a conversation I had actually a couple of weeks ago with. She was just saying, "Oh, well, I'm having really good conversations now with my husband. I'm having deeper conversations. We're actually able to sit down and have, meaningful conversations instead of me getting jealous." And I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." Because it might be some medication I'm taking. Don't think so, darling. I think it's because we've been working together.
I know.
It's because we've cleared that old trauma that kept her in the pattern of feeling that she was going to get rejected. So she couldn't have that conversation in case he didn't understand her. And instead they're closer. It's so beautiful.
Well, one thing that, when I speak to people, because I've got a few sessions this afternoon, the next one after this is to stop smoking. And one of the things that people usually bring up goes, if I don't smoke, am I going to overeat? Am I going to do something negative that replace it? No, you're not, because I'm going to help you to understand that you're non-smoker now and you're not going to do anything different other than something simple like just taking a nice clean breath of fresh air. It's free, it's easy, you can do it anytime you want. You don't have to go and do something negative. And that's the way it's going to be. Do you want, it's going to be something you're going to understand how to do that. So again, with overeating, what am I going to do? Am I going to drink more? Am I not going to go out? Am I going to lose friends? That change. It's all about change. If you stop something, it's making a change. What's it going to bring into your life, sort of thing? It's just going, don't think of it as a negative all the time that's going to come to your life. Think of it as a positive. We're going back to the affirmations that we spoke about earlier on today. It's saying if you put that positive thought out there, that's what's going to come back. So if you're going to give up smoking or give up drinking, or you're going to give up overeating, think about something positive you're going to start doing.
Yes, that's the thing. Our subconscious minds don't like the idea of loss. So it's like, I'm going to lose that control perhaps of eating, but it's not. It's about going, the way I do it, and I think you do it the same way, is that we go to the root of why you started that in the first place. And there's always an emotional block, there's always an emotional pain that you're self-soothing with food or alcohol or smoking or whatever it is. Food, I can't remember what I said in the beginning, but it's all those things that you're doing is to suppress the feeling that you had in the first place. And maybe to start with, it made you feel better, but now it's not working. So it's just about getting back to your personal root. You don't have to know it consciously. Your subconscious mind knows. It's 95% of everything you do, think, feel, and believe about yourself, but it's subconscious. It's below your conscious level. So it's about really allowing your subconscious mind to reveal the answer.
Oh, of course. As I say, going just on the subject of smoking, that most people, why do they smoke in the beginning? It's usually just have a cigarette with their friends to feel big, to,
Yeah.
look good amongst a gang of people or whatever it's going to be. So you can just do that if you was on your own. So why did you do it? And you carried on. It's disgusting. I remember smoking. It was bloody horrible when the first one I had. I thought, why? I had the second one as well. Whoa, this is crazy. But again, you just realise it wasn't just something to block something out. So there wasn't an emotional attachment there. It was just to do something that was different at that time in my life. So you can take that away. You can remember before that time not having a cigarette. So there's all sorts of reasons why.
It was a connection you were looking for.
Yeah.
It looked like the other. It's emotional connection. That's what you were looking for.
Everybody sets something up in their life to do good or bad. If you want to smoke, then you set that up in your life. I will smoke when I was younger, or I will overeat, or whatever it's going to be. There's a lot of things that link to emotional things, a lot of things that link to the subconscious issues that you set up. No one else has. And you as a person have set these up. We set this time and time again.
It's subconscious. You don't even know you're aware of it. It wasn't like you woke up one day and go, do you know what? I'm going to make myself this, that, the other. I'm going to have a disease. You didn't do it consciously. It's not your fault. It's just your subconscious mind thinks it's of use or benefit to you. It's waving a flag at you saying, will you please address it? That's all it is. And it's just finding that personal route, releasing that emotional pain, suppressed emotional pain. You don't even know it is suppressed. It's out of your conscious awareness, but it is there nevertheless. And it's about then releasing it so that you can live life the way you want to, fulfilled life, feeling happy and being able to move your body and enjoy your life.
As I say, it's just consciously, I've never come across anyone that knows why they do something and that set the issue up in the first place. I've never come across anyone that's vaguely got really close to it. But, everyone knows in a subconscious mind, the subconscious mind knows everything about that person. And it will only bring forward at that point, what you're trying to deal with. So, you've got hundreds of different issues, good or bad. It's just, if we're talking about giving up smoking, it's going to find out why you did it in the first place. Just smoking, not about anything else, just smoking. So, but the thing is, people fear the loss of control. It's about the safety issue, the security, as you said before, and the resistance to change as well, because people will resist change. People want the change 95% of the time, but they resist it because they're scared of that out of control, that out of security, that out of that comfort zone. But once they're out of it and they enjoy that new road, that new path, it's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's great to see people do that as well. But I totally understand, as a human, we do fear a lot of things. As I say, we're talking about change and we fear change. So, but once we turn a different corner and go, oh, that's a dark corner, but then all of a sudden it branches out to something lovely, you go, wow, I wish I'd done this before. So it's just knowing, once you've done it and got an experience of feeling good and feeling happy, you'll do more in your life. You'll make more changes in your life because you've done it once. It may happen again more and more and more. So
exactly, my pattern was toxic relationships, but forever, basically. And I didn't even know I was in them because it was my normal. And it was only when it actually came into my awareness that wasn't really what love was about. Then the fear of staying where I was greater than the fear of change. That was my catalyst of like, I can't not date anymore after this, because I got divorced for the second time. I'm like, well, then what? I'm approaching my 50th birthday at this point. Then what? I can't spend the next 50 years on my own. I have to trust myself. I don't want to be a Catwoman. What do I do? So I'd already trained in hypnotherapy, so I just like, I need someone to help me. So I got somebody to help me, found the root cause. Real basic, I won't go through the details, but a basic belief is that love is painful. So of course, I picked up all the relationships that were going to mirror back that belief. Until I didn't.
Good. And there you are today.
Yeah, exactly. And now I've won 5 awards. 5 awards for my work, brilliant. Which is incredible.
Just shows your passion.
And it shows in such a short time frame, because it was 2019 when I was still in that marriage. It's 2024 now. And I've moved, I'm almost moving 3 times since then.
Yeah.
And I'm about to move again. And I'm writing my book. And I'm helping clients around the world. This is incredible. So it just shows you the power. I'm nobody special, really. It's just that I've changed my mind. I've switched the switch, and it's in the subconscious. And that, because, you know, people say, oh, you're inspiration. I'm like, no, I just had some hypnotherapy. That's really all I did. And then I believe in myself more. That's the thing.
Showing them proof that even you can change, anyone can change. You know, a lot of change. Let's go back to some deeper negative changes where people have lost loved ones, they passed over for whatever reason. You know, I'm not saying that Spain's quite high in that majority at the moment, but you know, people come out here to retire and everything else, so they're elderly, so people may start losing people. And I deal with a lot of bereavement here, because again, it's change. It's that loneliness, that security missing, that comfort zone's gone. You know, what do I do? How do I act? Where do I go? Do I keep doing what I should be doing? You know, do I feel guilt because of this change, that I'm doing something without my partner no more? So that change there is quite a scary thing for people, because it is a major change. It's something that they've been with someone for many years of their life, and all of a sudden it's gone. That major change there is quite scary. It's a fear. And once, you know, I help people with the bereavement side of things, it's just, again, allowing the mind, because this is not something that you picked up and it's an issue from when you was a young person usually, but it's something that's happening right now. It's just going, okay, so let's deal with it. Let's understand what's going on, you know. And once I understand, they go, wow, you know, this is just settled my mind. So that's a big, deep negative of grief that I've come across here. All the other ones have changed quite average and normal sort of thing in a way, but even people regret some things in their past from changes as well. So, but don't regret things that you've done in the past. It's a learning curve. It's a journey you're on. So if you've made a change, perhaps you had a great job and changed it for something completely different, even lower in the progression chain sort of thing, and you regret doing it. But why? You've done it for a reason. So again, it's change, lower or higher.
Yeah, and it's also just, it's always a lesson, even if it didn't work out right. What did you learn from it? And then when you've learned the lesson, you can start moving on from it. I've worked with a lot of clients with grief as well, and one of them was causing the fibromyalgia symptoms. And she got no idea that's what it was, but it was grief from when she was a child that nobody really was speaking about, because she's just a kid. And so they didn't sort of expect her to be having the feelings, I suppose. And she hadn't realised that all this pain, because obviously as you go older, you get other bits and pieces you pick up, don't you, of grief and stuff. And she hadn't realised that that's where it was. She thought it was her marriage where it came from, but it was way back more than that. And it was quite incredible. And releasing the grief is just lovely.
Oh gosh,
because grief really is love, unexpressed love. It's love with nowhere to go. So when you understand that, and you're like, well, we can still, you know, they're still around, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. They don't go anywhere really. They've just not got the body anymore. So it's more about when you understand that. And my clients, then it does help them have that connection, and with themselves and with who they really are as well.
I had a few people that going back to change in a big way sort of thing, of changing jobs, changing positions, whatever it's going to be sort of thing. And some people don't think they deserve that change or worthy of that change, or they have this sort of imposter syndrome of being something that they think people are going to look at and think you shouldn't be doing that job because it's not right for you, or whatever it is.
Do you think
that lack of confidence and everything else? But as hypnotherapists, what we can do is help people to go and feel what it's going to feel like to be doing that job, but doing that position, driving that different car, flying in that aeroplane, all the things that you're scared of, that change is coming, that you need to do at some point, how it's going to feel. We can do that. You know, it's all in the subconscious mind to understand, to feel that emotion of change. And once you feel it, you go, wow, I'm not scared of that anymore. I'm not, blocking it out no more. I can actually do this. And the amount of people that I've seen and helped have just giving them that feeling of what would it be like to stand in front of them people and talk to them that you've never done before. Because remember, your manager, your SEO, your director, they've never just fallen into that job straight away. They've had to learn, and they've had to stand in front of people for the first time. Do you think they were just going to be doing it normally? They would be scared. There would be a fear, and it's good because it's an excitement sometimes. It's a scary thing sometimes, but they had to do it. They had to learn. And that's what we can help you to do, to understand what it feels like just to do it without actually doing it physically, just to do that in your mind. And once you do that, you think, I can do this. I can really do this. And the amount of people that walk away from here or a hypnotherapist and go and do something like that and go, it does feel good. I can do this and I have done it, you know, and that's good what we do. And that's one of the passions I like to see as well.
Yes, I do too. The thing is, the body really doesn't understand scared or excited. It feels the same in the body. So it's really, the difference is there's the thought pattern in it. So if you're telling yourself, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, you're going to get all those tense. If you're like, oh, I'm excited instead, that's a different energy. I'm excited for this. I can't wait for this. This is going to be brilliant. So it's all about the language you use to yourself as well. There's so much to do to help yourself too.
Oh gosh, how many people, maybe not even said to you personally on a one-to-one basis sort of thing, but I've had a few that said to me, I'm nervous just before the session starts. I said, good. And they say, why? I said, because that makes you human. I said, if you wasn't nervous about doing something you've never done before, then that's a great thing. It's either excitement, it's scary, whatever it's going to be. You don't know, because change from what you're doing now, you're going into something you've never done. You're doing something for a change. You're changing something in your life. I said, so once you've done this, you've got experience of it. I'll ask you again how you feel. And once the session's up, I say, how do you feel? They're brilliant. How do you feel now that you know how hypnotherapy works and how it can change you? To go, it's really good. Do you fear it? Are you nervous? No, not at all. But it's just that starting point. Anything we do, you know, if I go out and, you know, I've got to, as I say, go and drive a different car, you're going to be nervous for the first few seconds because you've never done it before. It's a change. And it's just getting hold of that change and understanding it and knowing you can do it. And once you've got that under your belt, you can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And hypnosis is a beautiful thing to help you do that with. I think that's just an amazing conversation.
But as I say, there's lots of fears, as I say, I keep going back to jobs changing and house changing and different countries moving to, driving different vehicles, you know, whatever it's going to be that you need to do that you're scared of, you're fearing, can be changed with hypnotherapy. You know, we can't force it on you, we can't control you, but it's something, if you want it, there's a switch there. You know, your fear's on at the moment. If you want to turn it off, there you go. You can go and do it. I can't do it for you. And that's how we help people.
Absolutely. Find the root. What is it? The real root. There's always a secondary something underneath where you think it is as well. Like you said, it's not where you think it is. So yeah, it's just an amazing thing. And it's about really releasing, not just like popping, it's going into what that root is, so that you can understand yourself so much more. It's a beautiful journey of self-discovery where you're like, oh, I've never even thought that maths teacher at primary school or whatever had influenced me that much. It stopped me from doing X, Y, Z. It stopped me from speaking. It stopped me believing that I could do maths or whatever it was, you know, made me so limited. And you can see that and like, well, that's just my 5-year-old, my 6-year-old self that took those beliefs on, because I've got no reference point of thinking, well, should you really be a teacher, or should I, you know, that kind of thing, because they didn't empower you. They put you down. So it's looking at it from an adult perspective, an older perspective, so that you can understand where it came from and then you can let it go. And that's just a beautiful thing.
I say we've gone through change. We're not anything special. We go through change. The first time we passed our hypnotherapy, the first time we dealt with a customer, you know, that's all there. It's something we feared. We must have done, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be human. So it's going into the unknown, fearing that change. And once you've done it, once you've passed your exams, you go, yeah, I feel great. And once you've dealt with your first customer, yeah, I feel great. I can do more.
Yes.
More and more. That you've got over that fear of change. So it's all there. It's just it's something that everyone can do if they want that change. That's all it is, and that's where a hypnotherapist can help so much. If you're talking to the conscious mind in certain other therapies sort of thing, that's not going to help anything. In a way, I'm not being horrible, but it's just not going to change anything there. With hypnotherapy, is where the subconscious mind is, where that change has to come from. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's 95% running the show. So why work with your conscious mind? We bring it out of your subconscious into your conscious, look at it, analyze it, and decide whether you want to let go of it or not. That's basically what we're doing. And it's just so wonderful when you go, oh, I never even imagined that was the thing that helped me or hindered me or whatever it was, or where it all came from. Beautiful, isn't it? Really gorgeous. And it doesn't get boring because you never know where you're going to go. It's just like, oh, this is exciting. It's exciting for us to piece it together and then allow you to release it. And for me, the biggest thing was my daughter. When we had our first session together, that was my first real session that I wanted and was passionate about the outcome. I had I'd done my training with people while I was learning, and then I was just going to file the certificate and not bother, because it was a bit too scary, really, wasn't it, to sort of tell everybody that I'm a hypnotherapist and I can help you. But it was my daughter's like, I need to do this for her. And then when we released it, like, oh, this is, I was excited, of course I was, but it was like, oh, now I've got to get the message out there that the answers are in our subconscious. And that was scary. So I just hired a room locally and started. And then PTSD was one session, psoriasis was one session. I was like, okay, I've got to keep going. And that's what I've been doing ever since. It's just, what else can I do? If I can do that with people, if I can help somebody achieve that, that's a major thing. What else can I help? Who else can I help? And it's that curiosity that keeps me where I am, wanting to help more people, because it works, absolutely.
And again, you're just proving that change can make things good. You went into doing something for the first time, helping your daughter for the first time, getting a room and doing hypnotherapy for the first time. You've never done it before, so you've made that change. You know how to cope with that sort of thing. Some people struggle with that, and they will hold themselves back, restrict their lives because of it. And we're just saying that if you need that help, hypnotherapy can open doors for you to understand that fear. Because that's what it is. If you want that change, if you want to do something else, it's understanding the fear and finding out where it comes from. And that's what we do. And that's, our passion every time. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's about releasing it, understanding it, and release, so that and empower you as well. It's not hard work. It's more like home play, isn't it? Because you're relaxed with your eyes closed. You're talking to us with your eyes closed, feeling relaxed, just allowing your subconscious mind to do the work, like daydreaming. And then we help you piece it together, and then we can let go of it with you.
Of course, yeah. And it just there's so many different things, so many different scenarios of people that have issues and everything else. But we're here for anything. We're here to help anyone. There's if you're living a life in a negative way and you want change, don't fear it. Come and talk to us. We'll help you understand it, and we can help you make that change.
We'll have a chat with you first before you decide whether you want to work with us. That's how I work, don't you? Just have a talk about it and just like, look, this is how we can do it. This is how the process works, and then we just talk you through how it works, and then you can decide whether or not to work with us or not.
No obligation, as they say.
Yes, that's right. Finding. So that's wonderful. It's always great to talk to you, Mark. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, because you're as passionate about hypnosis and hypnotherapy as I am. So it's great to have that conversation. Thank you so much.
And to you, thank you again. And we'll catch up again soon and speak a lot more about so many different things.
Absolutely. Thank you.